Okay, this next fly is a very unusual fly. It's a variation of a couple of flies that I used. I tried out, it's one of those flies, if you tie your own flies you'll know. It's an experimental fly. You try it out and you hit a really good fish. And on this one I caught my biggest ever wild brown trout. It's only about 1.5 pounds, but it's using a dry fly here in North Wales. As anybody will know, it's not too bad off the surface, as we say. I call it a Wally Wing CDC. So for this one I'm going to use a Partridge dry fly supreme, size 16. It's going to be using the same bodies as my spiders. It would be Pearsall's Primrose, which is like a yellowy green, but I've only got olive at the moment, so that'll do anyways, just to show. Again, it'll be using the Veniard's wire. Again, it would be a 26. Again, I've only got a size 27 at the moment, but it won't have a tail. I won't put a tail on it. I'm going to use some CDC. I've got my CDC in here in this tub, as you can see probably there, and also some teal feathers for the wing, which is really quite a tricky little affair until you get used to them. I haven't tied one in months, so we'll see how I get on now. Anyway, okay, so making a start. Again, I'll start off, I'll wax my silk, start just behind the eye, and when I get to just before halfway I'll trim off the excess, and I'm going to get my wire first. So I can't find the first piece I had, so I'll get another piece. So here it is, size 27 this is, but 26 I recommend. And again I'll put it to sort of level, if you can see that. I'll try and put the light, apologies for the light. Just level with the eye underneath and pull it back a bit, and then I'll tie that up towards the bend in the hook. And then back again. And I'll do this once more up. The best brown I caught on the River Dee here in North Wales on this fly. I was just trying it out. Some still reasonably quick flowing water. I had seen a fish rising previously about 10 to 20 minutes earlier, and I cast just off the middle of the river, and I was in the middle of the stream, and just a little sip, and then the rod. I use an 8-foot glass Hardy, weight 5, and the rod just went boom, bent right down as this fly took it. It was a beautiful fish, and it's in one of my videos. Anyway, I'm going to wind the wire back up to just beyond halfway, where I'm going to tie in the Wally Wing. This acts as, looks a bit like a rib to the fish, I guess, but also helps to tie down and secure your silk as well, your silk body. I'm going to lock that down, wiggle it a couple of times, it just snaps off naturally. Now is the tricky bit. This is where I'm going to try and choose a decent teal feather. And make my Wally Wing. I haven't done this in months, so I'm going to be a bit green at doing this all over again. Let's have a look. We'll try this one here. Here we go. Not a very good one, but so there's the way. I'm going to tear off the lower part of this feather, so don't need those. Get rid of those. There we go. Now, You've probably seen how Wally Wings are done. If you YouTube it, you'll find there are several people who do these far better than me, but this is a different kind of fly. You use a CDC as a hackle instead of a traditional either parachute or traditional vertical hackle. So I'm going to pull down the feathers, bristles, evenly towards the base of the stalk, like that. Probably a little bit more on this side. I'll lick my fingers for this, make it a bit easier. And then I'm going to tie that onto the hook. There, pull it to the length I want, like this. I'm going to lock that down a couple of times, lightly first, reposition it, and then tie it right down. And then what I need to do is dam it up. So put it back on itself. I'm going to, what we say, dam it. So I'm going to lock it from the front and push in up to make the feather wing sit vertically like that. And then I'm going to do a lock with a double hitch tool there. That's now secured. And now I can trim off all this nonsense here. I wish I had some really decent teal. This is just not very good at all. Now this is where it gets tricky. I'm going to bend that back. What you have to do here is, if I can just sort of readjust this, is grab a couple of bristles. Now they show you, oh, you do 2 or 3. I grab as many as I can really and pull them down one at a time, one side at a time. There's one. Now I could actually leave that one because it's a good shape. I think I will. I would do the same on this side, but I risk splitting it. So there, you can see that. And I'm going to keep that actually as it is because it's quite tidy. Trim that off and that off. Don't think it has to be perfect. So there, so far, is the body and the wing. Okay, turn back so you can see again. And then all I need is about 2 or 3 bristles of the CDC. I'll zoom out of it here so you can see what I'm doing a bit better. So I'm going to pick out the CDC. You know, I'm running a bit low on this stuff at the moment. I could do, there's one. That's a really nice one. I'm going to use probably another one on top of that because that'd be quite a lot. You don't want it to be too bushy. There's another smaller one. I'll do one more. I lied again. There's a white one, sort of grey white. I'll stick that in between the 2 darker ones. I'll put those. Now the trick I find with this is, with CDC, whether you're doing just a standard CDC or if you're doing one of these Wally CDCs, is to line up the tips of the feathers. Now I would normally do this on the table, but I want you to see, and I can't adjust the camera at the moment. So I'm going to line those tips up one after the other because it's the end bits which are the most floating, the most buoyant. They're okay. And then I'm going to lick my fingers because the feathers will dry out and pull them. There we go. And what I'm going to do is tie that on, probably the length of the body. And I'm going to tie that onto the hook. See if I can zoom in again. Okay, sorry about the lighting. I'll hold that down. And I'll lock down once. Get it in position then a second time. And then I can pull tight then. Like that. And readjust the wings. You can, if you feel like, for example, I'm not happy about the way that one's sitting, so I can actually tuck it down a bit like that. and I'll go one more time forward, and then I'll trim that off. And as I say, they are not tidy, but they work. And I'm going to then lock that down, half hitch knot over the top, and you could also use, if I can find it, a whip finish tool. This is one I prefer, and I'll do one of that. So I do like this. I haven't used it in quite a while. It's actually catching a bit. There we go. And there we go. Pull that now. Again, as I say, not too tight because you'll snap it. Now, there isn't a standard hackle on this. As you can see, there's the hackle stitch at the back, and it looks odd. However, it does catch. I'm just going to tidy up a little strand there. It does catch some nice fish, grayling, yeah, but the browns like it even into the autumn. So just going to get the wings out of the way and varnish that. The head's a bit bulky on this, but again, I'm not striving for perfection. I just want to get the job done. Clean everything off, lid on the varnish, and there is there, if I can find it. No, can't find it. There we go. I'm making a fool of myself here, aren't I? There we go. There's another Wally Wing. CDC, it won't focus. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Let's get the hook out. Hook shouldn't be too bothered. There we go, hook's out. Wow, that's the biggest brine I think I've ever caught. It's a good maybe 18 inches. Beautiful. Wow. Size 16 dry. Come on mate, off you go. Oh. There you go. Look at that. Wow, that's the biggest brine I think I've ever caught. It's a good, maybe 18 inches. Beautiful. Wow. Size 16 dry. Come on mate, off you go. Oh. There you go. Look at that.